Welcome to the BRSCC Avon Tyres National Formula Ford Championship. It's the road to Indy for these guys, and their motorsport career starts here. It's 20 years since Jenson Button won this championship, and now he's an F1 legend. Who's going to be the star of 2018? Well, to find out, let's meet our race commentator for the 2018 season, Scott Woodwiss. Scott, you've got just about the most enviable job in commentary this year in the Formula Fords. It's like the good old days again.
It is, it's fantastic. It's great to have them on the TCI UK package. It's great to have such a talented field of drivers, 34 drivers lining up today, and there's drivers like Joey Foster, Niall Murray, some of the Triple Crown drivers in the mix as well. I can't pick a winner because it's too close to call, and there's so many great drivers up and down, and all age ranges, experienced hands, but also as well some talented youngsters choosing Formula Ford as their first stepping stone into proper circuit racing. I'm excited, I can't wait for this.
So much so that I've raced up to the commentary box to give you the grid for race 1. Joey Foster and Josh Fisher on the front row of the grid, ahead of Michael Moyers and Jack Wolfenden. Then the returnee Niall Murray and Matt Rangarido ahead of Stuart Goff and Jamie Thorburn. The top 10 completed by Luke Cooper and Nico Gruber, for Joshua Smith and Michael Eastwell. Then Rory Smith and Jonathan Brown, followed by Sebastian Melrose and Hugo Bentley Ellis. John Ferguson on row 10 ahead of Daniel O'Byrne, with Thomas Capazone and James Scott Murphy. Then Jay Bridger and Carter Williams ahead of Sebastian Jobe and John Svensson. George McDonald and Davide Maloney line up ahead of Sam Street and James Clark, with Vincent Jay, Pascal Monbaron, Richard Morris and Simon Fleet completing the 32-car entry. We're all set for the first 15 minutes of the season at a very wet and damp Silverstone circuit as the lights go out and 2018 is underway. Cracking start from Foster from pole position. It's side by side for second place as Michael Moyes looks to go up the inside of Josh Fisher in the blue number 81. I think he may have stayed in second place. There's the battle between, looks to be Michael Eastwell and Sebastian Melrose. And they head down towards Maggots and Beckett's for the first time. Foster leads, Fisher second. Then it's Murray in third, Moyes in fourth, and in fifth position, looked to me as if it was Jack Wolfenden. They pile in together. Look at the field, 32 Formula Fords of all shapes and sizes. There is car 78, James Clark, and he's ahead of what looks to be Pascal Monbaron in the Swift chassis. Meanwhile, up towards the lead of the race goes Josh Fisher. He goes up the outside of Joey Foster, and so the now three-time Formula Ford Festival winner is now back down to second place. That now puts him under attack from 2016's national champion Niall Murray. A little wide on the exit for Jack Wolfenden. He's going to lose one place to Rangarido, two to Jamie Thorburn, and the third one to Stuart Goff. And he's a former national champion and also a former Walter Hayes front runner as well. They turn into Copse Corner for the second time, the first at racing speeds. And Luke Cooper's also slipped by, so that's another place he's lost. And he could lose two more if he's not careful, because Josh Smith and Rory Smith are in the mix as well. No relation between the pair. So Fisher, Foster, Murray, Moyers, then Rangarido. There's Jamie Thorburn in the first of the Cliff Dempsey racing cars, fourth, as Fisher continues to hold on for dear life as he's still under attack from Messrs Thorburn and Cooper and Rangarido and also Rory Smith and Stuart Goff. They're all in the mix. They all want a piece of this fourth place. Out of Luffield, through Woodcote again, nose to tail, staying in the slipstream. As again, Moyers darts out to take a look at second place on Niall Murray. And Murray took a bit of a break away from a national championship. His aspirations was to go into the USF 2000 championship, and he also made for the second time the scholarship shootout for the Mazda Road to Indy. Didn't make it through, but one person that did is Keith Donegan, who was second in the festival last year to the man right in front of Niall Murray. That's Joey Foster in the black car right there. And as they head down the back straight, Don Hardman's Ray chassis really suiting Joey Foster right now. They've just gone around the only Clubman pre-90 car in the field. That's Simon Fleet. And now this huge pack for fourth is going to make their way past him. One car was running wide. I think that was Matt Rangarido trying to make a slightly wider run on the exit of Luffield. But it's good driving for Simon. He's just letting everyone else drive around him. That's what you do as a lapped car, respecting the blue flags. Great driving, Simon. Well done. And there he is, car 69. He's also doing double duty this weekend, racing in the Mazda MX-5 Super Cup. So he's a busy boy here at Silverstone. Here's another good battle that's developing here. This is actually Joey Foster putting a lap on what looks to be Davide Maloney, the man from San Marino. But we are on the last lap of the race here. and what a way to come back. He made a brief comeback at Anglesey, where he won in very treacherous conditions, in slightly better but still tricky conditions here at Silverstone. He's done it once again, round the final corner to take the checker flag. Joey Foster wins the first National Formula Ford race of 2018. Michael Moyes picks up second place from Niall Murray in third, then Josh Fisher fourth, JB Thorburn fifth, then Luke Cooper, Rory Smith, Stuart Goff, Michael Eastfeld with the fastest lap of the race, and then Matt Garrido rounds out the top 10. 11th goes to Jack Wolfenden from Sebastian Melrose, and then Hugo Bentley-Ellis, then Josh Smith, John Svensson, Daniel O'Byrne, Jay Bridger, John Ferguson, George McDonald and Carlton Williams, then Nico Gruber, who went down to 21st ahead of Jonathan Brown, then James Scott Murphy, Pascal Monbaron, James Clark, Sebastian Joe with Davide Maloney, Richard Morris and Simon Fleet, with Vincent J and Sam Street and Thomas Capazone, the non-finishers. What a fantastic race, and there's two more still to come.
Well, Joey Foster, positive way to start the season. There we go. Told you you've got a win in the bag.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think so at the start. The competition out there is so tough, so I thought, well, you know, let's just try and get a good start and see what happens. I made a slight mistake onto the back straight. Josh got by. Obviously followed him for a couple of laps. I showed my nose going down to Brooks and thought, you won't fall for that. And he braked a little bit late, ended up spinning out. So I thought, right, head down, try and make the break. But obviously Niall was right there and a bit of a scrap, but eventually managed to pull away.
Well, Michael, not bad for someone who's only focusing on the Triple Crown. Second place, that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, everyone's eligible for it, so you know, we've got to try and win outright as well. But no, really chuffed with that. I mean, I thought we were going to bring it home P3, to be honest, but I had such a good run on Niall with a lap or two to go. I just thought, right, we're going up the inside, see what happens, and we managed to hold on. So yeah, really happy with that. It's just a shame Joey had checked out, but you know, Joey's an experienced head, isn't he? So he knew exactly what he was doing, which is fair play to him. And yeah, no, I'm just really happy. It's a long season. I just wanted to get you know a finish under my belt. I hope you know ideally on the podium. So we've achieved exactly what we wanted to do.
Well, Niall, great to see a positive start to the 2018 season. What a thrilling race!
Yeah, it was a great race. Obviously, from kind of halfway on towards the end, it was getting a little bit spread out. Like Joey just had way more pace than me, and he was just pulling away. And yeah, I was just trying to keep the gap to Michael, and unfortunately, he was quicker than me, so managed to pass me with 2 laps to go, and yeah.
We're about to get ready for the second race in the National Formula Ford Championship. With me is Graham Brunton racing driver Sebastian Melrose. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you as well. Good to see you.
So obviously the first weekend of the championship is always a tough one, but here at Silverstone it was wet yesterday. It's a lot drier now. That's going to make it a lot closer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Silverstone's always fun, wet or dry. But now that they've resurfaced it, there's actually not a huge difference in lines. You can probably obviously like roll in a bit hotter around corners and stuff like that, but yesterday was a good day, and I just want to repeat the same pace as I had yesterday, if not, you know, a lot quicker. But I'm confident, I'm comfortable.
Here is the grid, and this is also the result for yesterday's race for reference as well. So Joey Foster and Michael Moyes, as I mentioned, on row 1. Niall Murray and Josh Fisher make up row 2. Jamie Thorburn and Luke Cooper on row 3. Then Rory Smith and Stuart Goff on row 4. With Michael Eastwell, impressive youngster, made his debut last year. He's on row 5 alongside Matt Garrido. Jack Wolfenden and Seb Melrose are next up on row 6. Row 7, Hugo Bentley-Ellis making his debut, and Joshua Smith. John Svensson and Daniel O'Brien are on row 8. Jay Bridger and John Ferguson row 9. And George McDonald and Carter Williams rounding out the top 20. Then it's Nico Gruber and Jonathan Brown, James Scott Murphy and Pascal Monbaron, James Clark and Sebastian Job, David Maloney and Richard Morris with Simon Fleet and Vincent J. The one other runner is Sam Street, who will start at the back of the grid. So the green flag has been flown at the back of the grid. We are about ready to go racing here for round number 2 of the Avon Tyres National Formula Ford 1600 Championship. The lights go out and a mega start by pole sitter Joey Foster. He will have an uncontested lead down towards turn number 1. Michael Moyes slots into second place there, the white and blue car. Niall Murray, I think, is still third. Fourth is Josh Fisher, so they've got away in grid order with Jamie Thorburn in 5th as well. A few cars running wide further back, but we're already seeing our first challenge, and it's Niall Murray at the inside of Michael Moyes for second place. Down into Beckett's corner, careful not to lock wheels here. They just about keep away from each other. Do we get them safely through Beckett's though? That's the next question. Some of the pre-1990 cars running further back, they run within the a separate class for themselves, the clubman's classes. But the leading cars make their way down the Wellington straight with side by side for the race lead, and around the outside goes Michael Moyes. What a move from Moyes. He takes the lead, and Niall Murray comes steaming round the outside of the lot of them. He won't get the lead, but I think he's going to get through into second place, and Moyes leads the way. Murray and Joey Foster debating second place for the time being, and Foster will hang on. So, race leader is Michael Moyers, second Joey Foster, third Niall Murray, fourth place is actually Jamie Thorburn now, ahead of Josh Fisher in fifth, and sixth place the red and white car is Luke Cooper. The slipstream starts to take effect again though, and Niall Murray gets up the inside here of Joey Foster for second place into Copse Corner. Joey trying to turn in, cold tyres as well, remember, but they just about keep it clean. Lots of cars running out over the edge of the track. If they do that too often, they will get pinged for exceeding the track limits, and they could have time added onto their race. Down in towards Maggots and Beckett's we go. Jamie Thorburn tucked right in behind the white, blue and orange car of Niall Murray. We've seen how late Niall Murray's been on the brakes down here. Can either Luke Cooper or Joey Foster outbrake him? The answer is no. And so they settle back into line. Michael Moyers is back into fourth. It looks like Josh Fisher's damage is fairly serious because he's actually disappeared from view, hasn't he? Michael Eastwell's car also has damage to the nose, but we have definitely lost Josh Fisher. So car number 81 that we saw have that contact with Niall Murray a lap ago has disappeared from this lead group. Back down the... Oh, and look, contact again. Cooper into the back of Murray this time as he tried to get up the inside into Copse Corner. It's just wheel-to-wheel contact, but the tyre smoke makes it look very dramatic indeed. 2.25 minutes to go, but it's one of those races you don't want to end, isn't it? Fantastic racing action from the Formula Ford 1600 National Championship, sponsored by Avon Tyres. All of the cars running on Avon Tyres, of course, for this championship. He's joining in the fun as well, isn't he? Car number 27 was the national champion. Matt Ragorido was third in the points in the Northern Championship last year. Nice battle here. That's car number 13 a bit further back, which is Sebastian Job, trying to make a move. He's outside of the top 20 as the leaders. Guess what? They're side by side again, and it was Joey Foster that trying to get past Luke Cooper to no avail. Side by side again. Cooper goes to the outside, almost loses second place as a result of that. Ragorido tries to get on the inside of Michael Moyers. That might have actually worked, actually, for fourth position. Matt Ragorido, the 27 car, and side by side again for the lead. Cooper goes to the outside line. Watch for Joey Foster. Joey Foster will take full advantage of this, get to the inside of Cooper through Beckett. He'll show him the edge of the road. On the exit of the corner, they almost lock wheels once, twice. They're still wheel to wheel, but Foster does not have the slipstream because Niall Murray has gone to the inside of the track. Foster's trying to bully his way back into line. This is going to get interesting down into Brooklands. Cooper's back around the outside of Niall Murray, and Luke Cooper leads. Luke Cooper takes the race lead away around the outside, just hangs onto the car, and he's in front. Michael Moyers is back into second place, and Niall Murray has gone from first to third with 1 lap to go. What a move that was from Luke Cooper. I didn't think anybody could outbrake Niall Murray down in towards Brooklands, and Luke Cooper did it. Fantastic. Luke Cooper then just has to hold on for one more lap, but that is going to be a lot easier said than done because Michael Moyers and Niall Murray are right back with him. Murray goes round the outside and Moyers retakes second place through Copse Corner, and now he's got just under a lap to try to get the race lead back. What's going to happen? Beckett is a possible overtaking opportunity. Defensive line will be taken by Cooper. Matt Ragorido, meanwhile, is going round the outside here. Michael Moyers, he's looking for a podium position out of all of this, but we'll focus on the leaders. Niall Murray setting himself up for the run down the Wellington Straight. He's in the slipstream, hugging the white line down the inside is Luke Cooper, but Murray is good on the brakes down here. He goes to the outside. He has made this move work before. Cooper outbrakes him though. Luke Cooper hangs on to it. Niall Murray stays second. Moyers is third-ish. Yes, hangs on, I think, just about, with Matt Ragorido fourth and Joey Foster fifth. It has been a sensational 15 minutes of National Formula Ford 1600 racing, and it looks as though Luke Cooper, with a dramatic penultimate lap overtake, will win round number 2 of the Avon Tyres Formula Ford 1600 National Championship. What a race! Niall Murray is second, Michael Moyers is third, Matt Ragorido gets fourth out of nowhere, Joey Foster, our race 1 winner, is fifth, sixth place then for Rory Smith, seventh Jack Wolfenden, eighth for Stuart Goff, and ninth for Michael Eastwell. The top 9 cars were covered by less than 1.5 seconds. What a race that was. Rounding out the top 10, by the way, is Nico Gruber, who started 21st on the grid. So Nico Gruber did a really good job. We didn't really get to check in with him that much, but that was a fantastic drive up through the order for him into the top 10.
Well, Luke, I think it's impossible to get that smile off your face. What a brilliant victory. And all 9 of you within a second and a half. Must be great to be at the top of that.
Oh, absolutely amazing. That's the best race of my life, and it was phenomenal. Every single lap it was action, working my way through the field. And as soon as I got to the front, complete different change, and trying to keep everyone behind me instead of going forward.
Well, talk us through that move at Brooklands on the penultimate lap as well. I mean, that's when the race was really won and lost. I mean, that was a knife edge. You could have got that so wrong, but you just nailed it perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. Slightly too late, and I could have ended up losing 3 places, and it was on the limit, but perfect.
Well, Niall, second position this time, much more impressive from your point of view, but also much more intense throughout as the race went on.
Yeah, much tougher race. You know, yesterday, again, I didn't have the pace with Joey, so I was just kind of sitting there hoping to stay ahead of Michael, and he passed me. But today, you couldn't just sit there at all. You had to just go flat out every single lap. So, yeah, really, really competitive. You could have been first, or you could have been 7th, depending on where someone passed you. So, yeah, really, really enjoyable. Got one better from yesterday today, so hopefully one better again now later on and take the win.
Well, Michael, third position. Okay, it's not second from yesterday, but I think that was a bit more enjoyable, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's about as manic as a Formula Ford race gets. It's just like the Walter Hayes Trophy final in November last year. It's absolutely manic. You could have finished first or 6th or 7th quite easily. So, no, I'm really pleased with that. It's good points for the championship. P2 yesterday, P3 today. So, yeah, hopefully we can do something in race 3 because it'd be nice to leave with a win.
I was just going to say, maybe P1 this afternoon then?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it'll be great to leave with a win. Obviously, we're going to be starting P6, I think, so it's going to be hard work, but we'll make a few tweaks to the car and see what we can do.
One final race to go in the Avon Tyres Formula Ford 1600 National Championship, and this is the reverse grid race. The top 8 cars are now reversed from the finishing order of the last race. That means that this man, Stuart Goff, is on pole position. So let's get in and have a quick word. Stuart, good to see you on the front row of the grid, and from the outside line, that'll be an interesting start.
Yeah, it's I'm pleased to get to the front now because we didn't qualify too well, and I've had both mistakes. I've made really, really daft mistakes on my behalf, particularly that last race we spun at Cops. So to spin, survive it, come back with fastest lap and get to...
The Avon Tyres National Formula Ford 1600 Championship cars are lining up on the grid ahead of their third and final race of the weekend. It's been a fascinating weekend of racing for these guys, one of the top quality single-seater racing championships in the country. Here's the grid. It's a partially reversed grid based upon the result from race 2, which puts Stuart Goff on pole position alongside Jack Wolfenden alongside him. Rory Smith and Joey Foster, our race 1 winner, line up together on row 2. Matt Round-Garrido and Michael Moyers have both been quick. They're on the 3rd row together ahead of Niall Murray and race 2 winner Luke Cooper. Michael Eastwell is 9th with Nico Gruber rounding out the top 10. Then it's Jamie Thorburn and Seb Melrose row 6. Row 7 Carter Williams and Jonathan Brown. Row 8 John Ferguson and Josh Fisher. Row 9 Hugo Bentley Ellis and Vincent Jay with Daniel O'Brien and Sebastian Jodd rounding out the top 20. Green flag then is waved at the back of the grid, and for the final time this weekend we're going racing in the Avon Tyres National Formula Ford 1600 Championship. Everybody away from the grid cleanly. Who gets the start at the front? It is going to be just about Stuart Goff that hangs on then from Wolfenden second. Joey Foster coming around the outside there of Rory Smith from the 45 car as we go through Copse Corners, and that will be the first side-by-side battle down towards Beckett's, or will it? Because Jack Wolfenden fancies his chances of getting the race lead. He went for it, it didn't work, and so Joey Foster will actually launch up the inside of him to take second place away. So back out of Beckett's they go for the first time. There's the number 22 car of Jonathan Brown further back, the Road to Indy livery machine, as cars scatter behind. There was a car I think pointing the wrong way up at Beckett's. We'll come back to that one in a moment or two though, because we need to sort out the leaders into Brooklands, and it is going to be our pole sitter Stuart Goff that hangs on. Foster in second, Jack Wolfenden third, Matt Round-Garrido fourth, and Niall Murray already making good progress. There is Niall, the white, orange and blue number 5 car. He is into 5th place already. Behind him is number 45, I think that is, which is Rory Smith. Yes, it is. But Niall Murray has come through from 7th on the grid into 5th already. The cars streak across the start-finish line for the first time, and it's a quarter of a second lead there or thereabouts for Stuart Goff. He turns his way through Copse Corner, but he's not going to get much more breathing room than that, I don't think. Again, the slipstream is keeping the field incredibly close together for the second time in a row. It's the outside line into Beckett's that Jack Wolfenden Wolfenden prefers, and Niall Murray comes storming around the outside of everybody. He's at least going to get 4th. He could go 3rd. Yes, he does. Well, we said in race 1 there's no one better on the brakes than Niall Murray, and then he got outbraked by our eventual race winner Luke Cooper for the victory. But other than that, Niall has been a demon on the brakes, and he demonstrated that perfectly there again, going from 5th to 3rd, and now going for the race lead. 3 abreast for the race lead through Brooklands. That was never going to work. Niall Murray backed out of it, probably sensibly, and in the end the positions stay the same. 15 minutes the duration of this race, by the way, so a bit shorter than some of the other races we've seen this weekend, but that means that all of the action is crammed into an even shorter space of time. This was the start. We saw that it was an even start really at the front of the field. Foster did get a good launch from 4th. Jinx out to the outside there, we can see off in the distance, and that's what gave him 3rd place. But it was a fairly equal start all round really at the front of the field. Fastest lap, by the way, has just been set by the man in 16th position. That's number 46, James Scott Murphy. But look at Stuart Goff. He's alongside Luke Cooper. He's on the outside line. This is for 3rd position. And Goff is going to try and brave it round the outside of Brooklands to get the inside line for Luffield. What a move! You can tell that Stuart Goff is one of the experienced drivers on the grid. That was fantastic stuff. But you can do it. It's a risky move to make because you always run the risk of the car on the inside washing out wide and taking you out. But if you hang tough around the outside of Brooklands, you get the inside line for really the next 3 or 4 corners. So it is a good way of getting through. Last lap has begun for Niall Murray. He makes his way down towards Maggots and Beckett's for the final time. 6 seconds clear of anybody else. That is very un-Formula Ford-like, but that's just been a really well-managed race from Niall. He fought his way through quickly, got to the lead, and then no one else could match him. He pulled away whilst the rest of them were fighting, and really has never been headed since half-race distance. For 2nd place, though, things are still unsure. Matt Round-Garrido has a car length or so's advantage over Stuart Goff in 3rd. Luke Cooper 4th. Will do everything he can to fight back, but this is the final time down towards Beckett's. Last chance saloon here, and around the outside he's done it again. Luke Cooper does exactly what he did in race 2 and makes a late move round the outside at Brooklands. That's exactly what Stuart Goff did to him a lap ago. All of this, though, is happening some 6 or so seconds behind this man, as Niall Murray is going to make it 3 different winners from the first 3 races of the season. He wins round 3 of the Avon Tyres National Formula Ford 1600 Championship. Is Matt Round-Garrido going to be held to hang on to 2nd place? Yes, just by 0.2 of a second over Luke Cooper in 3rd. Stuart Goff 4th, Jamie Thorburn 5th, and Rory Smith in 6th. Nico Gruber got the better of Seb Melrose in their race-long battle for 7th. 9th place goes the way of Joey Foster. He'll be a bit disgruntled after that one, though. And Michael Eastwell rounds out the top 10. So Niall Murray really stamping his authority on that race, but he left behind some brilliant battling for 2nd place. Matt Round-Garrido gets his best result of the weekend in 2nd, and Luke Cooper will probably have had one of the most consistent weekends. A win, a 3rd and a 6th for Luke Cooper this weekend. That will put him in good stead early doors as far as championship points are concerned.
Niall Murray, what a commanding victory. That's one of each now, a 3rd, a 2nd and a 1st.
Yeah, I struggled a little bit yesterday in the damp, and today I had a bit of damage earlier on. So, yeah, I was really looking forward to the bone dry race. I knew the car felt absolutely perfect earlier on.
Matt Round-Garrido, it's been a long time coming this. You've had victories in the Northern Series, but this is your first National Championship podium. That's a big one.
Yeah, exactly like you said. I came short just a few times over last season, and to finally get my podium and for it to be a P2 as well, not even a P3, feels amazing.
Well, Luke Cooper, 3rd position. If you're not careful, they're going to have to rename Brooklands Cooper Corner because you're just so good round there.
Yeah, I pulled off quite a lot of good moves around the outside there. It was a good result coming from 8th on the grid, but once Niall got in front and there was the instant behind, it was a titanic battle for 2nd then.